This is a Rogue Media Network production.
Stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. The prairie skies are wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas. Deep in the heart of Texas.
Well, hey, hello.
Well,
hi.
hey, you.
Welcome to
Blah.
King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am still Rusty.
Rusty, it is, I'm telling you, sometimes when it rains, it pours. And life has sent me a couple of gut punches here lately, but that's the way it goes. February, my mom passed away, and then this last Friday, I took my dad to the doctor because he was supposed to have a test on his heart, and they said, "Hey, you're not leaving," and they gave him a triple bypass on that Monday. So,
oh wow,
yeah, so that's been a little rough, but he's getting better. They moved him yesterday up into a rehab facility there in the hospital, so he seems to be doing okay.
Yeah, we're in a busy season right now.
It's just a big operation, and
Yeah.
part of it was that he took care of my mom for so many years, being in that wheelchair and stuff, and he didn't really do anything for himself. And then so the minute she's gone, then he starts looking at things going on with him, and obviously he needed it, so we're good.
Everything good? Like the post stuff, everything all right?
So yeah, I think so. He says he feels better because he's got more blood flowing through his heart, which only
well,
makes sense.
if you feel better, you got to be better to feel better. Yeah.
And the other thing is he's 81, so
any good feeling you can get at 81 is a good feeling, I'm sure. Anything you can get that feels great. My grandma was born in 1928, and she is still with us, and I'm not sure if it's the English lifestyle or the fact that she hasn't owned a car for the last close to 40, 50 years or so, but she just recently got a clean bill of health. The only thing that she has really wrong with her right now is she, at 90, what would that be, 98 years old, I imagine that your memory is not as sharp as it once was. So she'll forget short-term stuff, not really long-term. She remembers all, like she could tell you what she had for lunch in 1942, but her short-term memory is kind of going a little bit. But they said she had the heart of a 60-year-old. So I guess if you're 90, that's a good thing. I guess if you're 90, that's a good thing. Yeah. It's just beating in a box again on her desk.
It's under her floorboards, and she can still hear it a little bit. Hey, so we just finished season 8. Season 8 of King of the Hill, and we are fastly approaching season 9. We will start that. Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for being here.
What's up, CJ? Welcome.
CJZ 1995S. That sounds like a Toyota vehicle. So anyway, we're here, and we thank you guys for being here. But we wanted to talk about.
Thank you for bearing with us too, though. Thank you.
It's been a little up and down here lately, but we have
life happens. It's a very busy season.
Yeah, it does, and we're no doubt we're going to keep going.
We're not done. Yeah, we're 4 years into it at this point, and if we torture ourselves through another few seasons, it's only another few years to go.
Yeah, we'll be fine. No,
we love it.
I wanted to talk about with us being done with season 8. Let's talk about we're going to transition to season 9, so we'll start that soon. But we have King of the Hill season 15 that's been announced.
Yeah, it's been announced. Air date July 20th is when it comes out on Hulu on Disney. Hulu is no longer its own standalone app, and it has been absorbed by Disney, I believe, at this point.
Although I can still get in through their app. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
But
it does make no sense. I've actually deleted. I went ahead and just deleted the Hulu app and stopped.
Really?
I imagine what it is they've got a certain group of people who are older. Not necessarily you because you're tech savvy, but they have a certain no. There's like a certain group of older people, that just aren't as tech savvy that are probably that's probably the reason why they keep it for them. Just so they're like, well, I pay for this and I pay for that, and they're like, well, you need 4 apps.
So this is our so we're looking at 2 months away here, which is really, I mean, it's nothing.
2 months. It's not really not that far away. Midsummer for sure, or beginning of summer. Actually, I think July 21st is the first day of summer. So yeah, like right at the beginning of summer.
So if we take a look at this announcement poster, there's a couple of things that really stand out to me here. One is Big Tex in the back of their house.
I didn't see him when I first saw it. I was focused on what was going on in the foreground. That I just caught him in the background back there.
Anytime you want to pull in Big Tex, I'm good with that. Because it's I enjoyed that episode where Luann goes up in his mouth and all that.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I thought it was a good episode. So anytime they want
to, if you want to watch a history lesson about Big Tex, we threw a few minute little history lesson about Big Tex in there too. One of the things that stands out to me, there's 2 things that stand out to me in it. Is you've got Hank with a leash with no dog, and then the second thing that stood out to me, which is a trend, I guess that's a newer trend that's on social media and stuff like that. Not newer, but newer to what would be the King of the Hill sphere. I mean, I've seen it for the last probably 8, 9, 10 years on social media. People magnet fishing, so he's got a magnet, a fishing magnet, in his hand, but also it looks like he's holding 2 rats. Gerbil. It looks like rats, honestly.
Well, they got to be they're probably the same rats that he released in the kitchen for Bobby. Remember that? Like they were supposed to.
That's what I was thinking it was, and then one of them has a red. Collar,
like a shock collar almost or something.
Probably. Yeah.
Then you've got Bill, who you rarely see Bill in a cardigan or a sweater, holding a plant. So I don't know what's going on with him this season. You got Boomhauer with his chickens, some kind of weird little cow doll down at the bottom. Peggy,
I'm not sure what that cow doll is.
Yeah, Peggy, I'm assuming is going through a hot flash, maybe. That's why she's
I think that's probably what it might be. That's what it alludes to. I would guess.
And then Khan back there looks like he starting to lose his hair just a tad.
His hairline has fell back a little bit there.
Yeah,
which I'm kind of surprised they didn't give anybody else receding hairlines.
That's true.
I don't know. Is Boomhauer's hair slightly back a little bit? No, I don't think so.
It could be a little bit, but not too much. The thing
Bill and Dale have always been bald, so.
The thing that hits you in the face here, though, when you see it and you can't unsee it, is the fact that Hank is in a Strickland propane jacket.
Oh, that's something I didn't notice either. Is the Strickland propane jacket? So I'm thinking either it's just a relic and he's just got a jacket on, or maybe
he goes back.
They revisit, or it doesn't exist anymore. So maybe they revisit. Revisit Strickland propane. Maybe it becomes Hill propane. Who knows?
It could be. So
remember, they gambled all their. She gambled all their retirement away, and then he ended up getting it back. So they still had the retirement money. So maybe he seeds a propane business.
Could be. Now, if you count these things up, you have Big Tex is 1. Peggy is 2. The cow is 3. Bill and his whole thing is 4. The leash is 5. The rats are 6. The magnet is 7. The chickens are 8. Khan is 9. And then if you wanted to count Hank in his jacket, that's 10. That makes all 10 episodes. So I just wonder if each one of those things, is an episode.
Kind of ties into something. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I really think the leash is hopefully going to address the Ladybird, death.
That would be nice.
Maybe there's a new dog. Maybe that's what that signifies. Maybe there's a new dog, and maybe they don't want to show you it's a teaser, so they can't. Obviously, they don't want to show you the new dog.
Sure.
And maybe the new dog is named Barbara.
Barbara the dog.
No, Barbara Bush. Ladybird, Barbara Bush. Maybe.
Could be.
I was always surprised by Ladybird. Well, I was always surprised by Ladybird because everybody alludes to Hank being this, staunch Republican when Lady Bird was actually the wife of one of the last few Southern Democratic presidents. It was like him, then Jimmy, and then Clinton. But yeah, so he was like one of the last Southern Democrats that we had.
I can't imagine him having a Michelle dog. I can't imagine him having a Hillary dog. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like those. I don't think that he's necessarily one way or the other. But I can't see him naming a dog called Barbara. Hillary. Yeah,
I could see a Shih Tzu named Barbara.
I just don't know if I see Hank with a Shih Tzu though. That's the thing. You know,
and he doesn't have a choice. Bobby gets him the dog or something like that, or maybe it's I don't know. I see him with something. I see the dog being some kind of small dog, not a big dog this time.
Could very well be. But I think what we're going to get is a bunch of Hank. I don't think you replace a dog like Lady Bird because that was a big deal to him. But I think that if Bobby drops a dog off, or if one of the kids in the neighborhood drops a dog off, or maybe he just sees it wandering somewhere or whatever.
Well, I think that's what it ends up being, is one of those situations where the dad doesn't want the dog at all for the whole episode, where the dog's just doing this and doing that and doing this, and then there's like a come to Jesus moment close to the end where he's like, well, maybe the dog's not so bad, and then rides off into the sunset with the dog in the front seat of the truck or something.
Right. So let's also take a look here at we have a teaser for
there's a teaser video. So for you, those of you that could that are only listening to us, if you go to our YouTube at youtube.com/BWAAAKOTH, you could see the trailer along with this commentary that will follow this announcement.
Okay, so I'm going to take our fence down and let me play this trailer real quick, and we'll just kind of follow along with it. Then we'll talk about it afterwards. Here we go. We got our volume all the way up. Let's go all the way back. All right, here we go, guys.
Well, that's a hell of a weird sound. I never made that before. Man, a dang old boy ain't right, man.
Act like an adult, man.
Extended club mix.
You brought charcoal into our house.
I thought it was drugs.
Chuck Mangione, I'd probably out down to Hollywood right now, man.
I don't think I can ever go back to Coco.
I'm so jacked up on America.
Why'd you do that?
To be dramatic.
They're giblet heads.
We've got company.
Yep.
Bobby Hill.
That boy is
No.
Yep. What in the world?
A Mega Low Mark team member will be with you shortly. A Mega Low Mark team member will be with you shortly.
I'm glad we don't have to experience that.
Do what?
I don't have to experience that. I don't think I've been to a store in our area. They have the little things where you open it, it goes ding, ding, or whatever to alert that you opened it. But I don't think I've ever seen one that's like locked. Only in the electronics section is things locked.
Electronics section. Then I used to manage a dollar store for about a year, and we had deodorant and all kinds of things behind those things because people would run in and steal those basic things like that. And so you ended up having to lock up a lot of that stuff. But I can see Hank coming back, and I guess that is something that we kind of take for granted now that those things are there. I don't really think about it necessarily, but if you were time traveled from 15 years ago, you probably would be pretty screwed up with that.
By that,
yeah. God, can you imagine how many things are different? I mean, it's got
there's a lot of stuff that's different. There's I couldn't imagine closing your eyes and waking up in 20 years, only 20 years, from 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10 around there, and how vastly different things are in the world today. I personally as a youngster didn't really think that I thought technology would peak at a certain point. I thought things would kind of like plateau. I thought, as a kid growing up and everything's coming at you so fast, and then boom, it just kind of came to a point where it's like, what else could we really have? What else could they really? And now you've got neural implants where people are playing video games with their mind, and you've got this whole AI infrastructure that's like taking over where you could use AI to help you with your genealogy stuff. Like there was questions that I was asking AI, and it was helping me dig back to websites that I would never even have thought that it finds on the internet and pulls data and stuff in places that you would never think of. I don't know. It's not what I thought it would be, but here we are in the
it's not what I thought it would be either.
Space age.
I mean, there's who was I listening to? I was listening to a band the other day, and they had a song called "The Future Is Now," and there's no flying cars or something like that, you know. And I think everybody equates the future to flying cars and vice versa.
For sure.
But the future
they've been talking about flying cars since the 1950s during the nuclear age. So they didn't.
I just don't know how that works. You know, there are no lanes. You would have to have traffic controllers like in every area of the country, I guess. I don't know.
It would become a very it would open up that job market, because I mean there's only a finite amount of airports you can work at as an air traffic controller, but if they had a whole air traffic system for driving in the air, for
driving in the air,
that would be or flying in the air.
I don't know what you call that. I think that we often go to those big sci-fi things when the future really is incremental. You know, it's a little thing here and it's a little thing there, and then all those things add up to a big thing.
Yeah, it's slowed down a little bit.
I mean, because AI, honestly, it's just a culmination of all the little things we've done over the last 50 years. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I imagine, well, that's the thing is what they say about technology. This could be some conspiracy theory shit or whatever, but what they say about technology is that we're actually somewhere between 50 to 70 years behind what's actually there we don't have access to yet. So all of these companies have all this prototype and all this technology that doesn't get released, and that you know, as far as like defense and space and allowing things to go to the private sector, because a lot of things are in the government sector. There's a lot of things that are that we don't like. Technology, for instance, like microwaves. Microwaves were invented for the sole purpose of, you know, technology for the military, and then it passed on to like the modern age of refrigeration and all these different things that we have. They all come out of that World War II technology, and then they're released to the public kind of thing. So I imagine there's probably a lot of things like that in the world where there's just we don't have access to it yet, because it's still being used in a military capacity, and they haven't figured out how to make it usable for the private sector.
You know, talking about that sector. Like the UFO stuff, honestly, we're just now getting little tidbits here and there, and it's only because
nobody cares. That's the thing is you thought it would be more of a big deal, but I think the reason why nobody really cares is because it seems like a big distraction from the Epstein files. Honestly, that's what it seems like. It's like, oh well, here's a war in Iran, here's UFOs, here's this.
But you go with your 40, 50 years, you know, behind kind of thing. Then they've spent the last 50 years, you know, conditioning us that aliens could be bad, but maybe not, you know, and getting us used to the idea.
Yeah, just think about all the alien movies that are out there, you know, and everything like that we've seen, like that one movie, Paul, or whatever it was, where it was like I think it was like Seth Rogen played like a stoner alien or whatever. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like there's a little bit of that, you know, maybe some of that has a little bit of been propagandized a little bit to kind of desensitize us to the fact that there are other beings from other planets here, and their landing crafts are floating around.
I'm gonna take a shot at something here. I think when the that new Steven Spielberg movie comes out, you know, there's one coming out. I believe it's either next month or July, one or the other. And it is about contacting and finally making contact with aliens. And it seems odd to me that Spielberg would go back to something like that without being pushed towards it. You know, he told very different stories for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. So for those of you that don't know what Mike's talking about, there's this movie coming out in June 12th. So actually a month from today-ish. It's got Emily Blunt, Colin Firth, Josh O'Connor, Eve Hewson, and Coleman Domingo, but it is called Disclosure Day.
Sure sounds like a time when they would tell you everything, huh?
Yeah. No,
so I don't know. It's hard to predict any of this stuff because hell, who could have predicted all the Epstein stuff? Who could have
it's going to be a good movie, I think, to be honest with you, because it was written by the fourth most successful screenwriter of all time in terms of box office gross. The writer of it is David Koepp, I think is his name, and he's wrote Jurassic Park, The Lost World, War of the Worlds from 2005. He wrote the 2008 Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal, Mission Impossible in 96. He did The Dial of Destiny in 2023. He did the most recent Jurassic World Rebirth movie, The Trigger Effect, Stir of Echoes. I mean, he's done a lot. Secret Window, Mordecai. So he's a really good writer. So it's probably going to be a good movie.
Yeah. That guy has been in a lot of stuff, and just the fact that it's
Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi.
Just the fact that it's Spielberg too is a big deal. So it's going to be high class. But it's funny to me. I keep telling my wife that this is the year. This is the year that we find out about aliens. This is the year that we get some sort of new revelation about things, or we actually meet them. And so this Disclosure Day thing to me seems like a pretty good time to, it seems like a pretty good time to say, hey, guess what? Here they are. Here's Glip Glorp and his wife Gling Glong, or whatever, right? I think that could be a thing. Anyway, I have always wanted to see something like that, though. I've always wanted to see a ghost. I've always wanted to see an alien. I've always wanted to see Loch Ness Monster. All of those things. But none of it's ever happened to me. I know people who say they've seen them, but I've never seen.
Yeah, nothing like that's ever happened to me. I've seen weird lights and stuff like that before, but there was one that I saw while I was sitting at work, and turns out it was just a helicopter. So,
Yep. My grandparents would tell a story of how they were coming home, and they came down this back dirt road or whatever, and there was just a craft sitting in the middle of the street or in the middle of the road, just kind of hovering, and then it went pew, took off, and they just kept driving.
See, so, in that day and age,
kind of
I'm more likely to believe what people say from that era because there wasn't this massive what we have nowadays, where there's so many drones and lights and things that they could be anything. It's like that. It was like that thing that was happening out in New Jersey, where they thought there was like UFOs invading New Jersey, but it just turned out to be like a very highly sophisticated like drone or something. So. Whenever I hear something from somebody that's from that generation, I'm kind of like, well, maybe they did see something.
Well, and the other thing is, like you say, if it's 40 to 50 years behind, then shit, maybe they did, and maybe that's where it started or whatever.
Well, whatever technology is out there that aliens are using to reach us is far beyond anything that we've got anyway. So,
I'm just not sure why they would come here, but whatever.
Well, maybe there's not very many things to communicate that are intelligent beings in the universe. Maybe there's just life everywhere, but maybe there's not life that has advanced as far as we have. I mean, we're not even that far advanced. If we've got people coming from light years away to us, we're not even we're not advanced at all in that sense. We might even be in the Stone Age in comparison to what they're at.
Well, and then again, maybe Mars needs women again, or something like that.
Mars might need women, or Santa. maybe you ever see that movie? What is it, like something about Santa on Mars or something like that?
Oh,
it's like a weird sci-fi movie. Yeah.
Well, the other one is there's one about Nazis being on the dark side of the moon. That's where they went. So well. So we got lots of options here. Okay, so we will be back with season 9, episode 1, very, very soon. I think we're going to record during this week, and we'll have it out at regular time, just like normal. But thank you guys once again for putting up with us. And
we appreciate you guys.
Ups and downs of life. It just, sometimes it just is this way. And as long as we keep coming back, keep getting up, that's really all you can do. So I guess that's it for me. You got anything else, Rusty, that you wanna tell folks?
No, that was it. Okay. Just wanted to recap and say thanks to everybody for sticking with us through our busy period right now in our lives. We got a lot, both me and Mike got a lot going on.
That's the way it goes.
With family and everything, work and all that stuff.
Just remember,
included.
July 20th. Here it
July
comes.
20th.
Get ready.
Yep.
Give us your if you have a chance to say anything in the comments, please let us know what you think these episodes are going to be. I haven't looked on IMDb to see if we have titles yet or not, but I'm sure that they're coming, and we can talk about those as we get there. But all right, I think that leaves us one thing left to say.
You can find us at BWAAKOTH on all social media. Also, no, you're good. Also, you go to youtube.com/@BWAAKOTH, and they do not have episode titles yet.
Okay. All right. Well, that'll give us something to look forward to. So,
but they do have season 15, 16, and 17 already planned out. So
really, so they're all like placeholders.
What might end up happening, Mike, is that we finish the actual show. Hold on, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 2 years. Yeah, we might finish the show before the revival completely ends.
Before 17 comes out.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe before 17 comes out, because usually it's 2 seasons a year. I think is what we've paced at so far, because we're 4 years in and we're starting season 9. So
well, to be honest with you, if that happens, it probably would get to a point where the scripts for 14 are up, and so we could go back and actually cover those,
cover them the
right way. Yeah,
potentially. Yeah. If not, we'll have to engineer it.
We'll be fine. Yeah, we'll be fine. I wouldn't mind starting over. That'd be fine by me. But all right, guys. Well, that leaves us one thing left to say. Rusty, what's that thing?
Oh, we Matanye.
We Matanye indeed. We'll see you next week, guys. Thank you so much.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.